Hello, my name is Felicia Douglas, and for this discussion board, we're talking about Thomas Jefferson's legacy. Dr. Schultz gives two kind of examples of his legacy. Thinking, he was the author of the Declaration of Independence, surpasses everything else. And also the author of a bill for establishing religious freedom in Virginia, which is a very very important document for religious freedoms. And on the other hand, there's the issue of his idea of slavery and him owning many hundreds of slaves. And on top of that, the relationship that he had with a slave woman he owned named Sally Hemings, who he was sought to have many children with. So both of those combating against each other. The thing that I believe the most, based on my research, is Thomas Jefferson's legacy will always be the Declaration of Independence. I think that surpasses anything that could be said about him or researched about him in further years. I mean, his authorship of that most important document, probably in the history of this country, is astounding. And him to have wrote that, I think, is his legacy. That is something that we base our rights on. We base our freedom, our liberty from. So to me, the legacy of Thomas Jefferson is definitely him being the author of the Declaration of Independence. As well as, like I mentioned before, the article called A Bill for Establishing Religious Freedom in Virginia. And this bill was said to have resembled the Declaration of Independence quite greatly, according to Daniel Dresbach's A New Perspective on Jefferson's Views on Church-State Relations, the Virginia Statute for Establishing Religious Freedom in its Legislative Context. One of the clauses, it says, and I'm going to quote here, that no man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship, place, or ministry whatsoever, nor shall be enforced, restrained, molested, or burthened in his body or goods, nor shall otherwise suffer on account of his religious opinions or belief, but that all men shall be free to profess and by agreement to maintain their opinion in matters of religion, and that the same shall in no wise diminish, enlarge, or affect their civil capacities. And that is so similar to Thomas Jefferson's wording in the Declaration of Independence. His legacy will always be that. It's because the Declaration of Independence is our cornerstone of American freedom and liberty. And without that document, we would not be the America that we are today. And I think because of his education, his substantial education, and his love of reading, and his close capacity with other founding fathers, especially George Washington, James Hamilton, Patrick Henry, which I don't know if he was, such good friends with. They were on opposite sides of the aspects of big government or small government. And he was definitely in the aspect of a big government. But I think overall his authorship and his writing of the Declaration of Independence will surpass anything that has been said about him. His relationship with Sally Hemings, his issues on slavery, the slaves that he owned, and what he talked about trying to abolish slavery. I think he said he thought during a time, and this is said in one of the articles mentioned, called Thomas Jefferson and Slavery, he believed it was a complete moral depravity, but he said it was not that time frame after the Revolution to really to do with this issue of slavery. It was something that needed to be dealt with later. So overall, I believe Thomas Jefferson's legacy is his authorship of the Declaration of Independence.